The air is thick, clinging to your skin like a warm, wet blanket. Towering ferns, ancient conifers, and the first blush of flowering magnolias form a dense green wall around you, buzzing with the sound of unseen insect. The ground beneath your feet is soft, a damp carpet of decaying leaves and rich soil. A heavy, earthy scent fills your lungs. The smell of life, growth, and decay on a monumental scale. Through the foliage, a colossal shape shifts, its movement slow and deliberate. It is low to the ground, impossibly wide, and covered in something that looks less like skin and more like cobblestone. Ever wonder what it truly felt like to stand in the shadow of a living giant, to hear the rustle of its passage and feel the air stir as it moved? Let us know in the comments where you're watching from, and which of these incredible prehistoric creatures captures your imagination the most. Now, let's journey back in time and uncover the story of a lost world. You are in the Late Cretaceous Period, somewhere around 66 million years ago, in what will one day be called North America. The creature you see is an Ankylosaurus magniventris. The name itself is a testament to its form, a gift from the paleontologists who would unearth its story millennia later. Ankylos means fused in Greek, while sauros means lizard. It's a fitting title for an animal whose very skeleton is a study in fusion and strength. Bones in its skull and across its body are fused together, creating a solid, near impenetrable structure. And that second name, magniventris, it translates to great belly, a gentle nod to the immense broad torso required to house the complex digestive machinery needed to power this walking fortress. You watch as it lowers its head, its broad shovel-like beak snipping at a patch of low-growing ferns. There is no hurry in its movements, only a calm, quiet confidence. It is a living, breathing tank, an herbivore built not for speed, but for endurance and unparalleled defense. As you draw closer, the true genius of its design becomes breathtakingly clear. Its entire upper body is a masterpiece of natural armor. This isn't a shell like a tortoise's, but a complex mosaic of bony plates called osteoderms, grown directly within the skin itself. You can see the pattern, large flat plates arranged in neat rows across its back, interspersed with smaller, rounder nodules that fill in the gaps. It creates a flexible, yet formidable shield, like a coat of medieval plate mail, custom forged by evolution. It creates a flexible yet formidable shield, like a coat of medieval plate mail, custom forged by evolution. Even its eyelids are armored, bony shutters that could slide down to protect its vulnerable eyes in an attack. Hollywood often depicts dinosaur skin as leathery and uniform, but the reality for this creature was far more spectacular. Imagine running your hand over it, not the smooth hide of an elephant, but the rough, varied topography of a rock garden, a living wall of bone and scaly skin. This armor wasn't just a passive defense, it was a declaration. It broadcasted a clear message to every carnivore in this Cretaceous ecosystem: attacking me will cost you. It was a strategy of deterrence so effective that it allowed a slow-moving plant eater to thrive in a world ruled by some of the most powerful predators the Earth has ever known. You lift your gaze from the creature and take in the world it inhabits. This isn't the dry, dusty badlands where its bones will one day be found. This is a floodplain, lush and alive, crisscrossed by lazy rivers that swell and shrink with the seasons. The air hums with the drone of primitive bees flitting between broadleaf trees, a new evolutionary experiment. The climate is subtropical, warm and humid year-round, fostering a green explosion of life. Giant cycads, looking like squat palm trees, dot the landscape, their tough, fibrous leaves offering a tempting meal for a well-equipped herbivore. You hear a distant call, a deep bellow that is answered by another, and you realize this world is far from quiet. You hear a distant call, a deep bellow that is answered by another, and you realize this world is far from quiet. It's the sound of hadrosaurs, the great duck-billed dinosaurs, communicating across the plains. This world, the Hell Creek Formation, as it will be known to future scientists, is a dynamic and dangerous place. It represents the very end of the age of dinosaurs, a final, magnificent flourishing of Mesozoic life, just before the curtain falls. The Ankylosaurus you are watching is perfectly adapted for this specific time and place. Its low-slung body and wide stance provide stability on the soft, damp ground, while its specialized diet ties it directly to the unique flora of this lost world. The Ankylosaurus continues its meal, its focus entirely on the vegetation at its feet. Its head is narrow, a stark contrast to its wide body, and its teeth are surprisingly small and leaf-shaped. They are not designed for grinding or chewing tough material in the way a modern cow's are. Instead, you observe it using its broad beak to crop mouthfuls of ferns and cycads, which it then swallows with minimal processing. This is where that great belly comes into play. You are looking at a walking fermentation tank. Its enormous gut cavity, supported by a wide basin-like pelvis, housed a vast and complex digestive system. Inside, a soup of symbiotic microbes would have worked tirelessly to break down the tough, fibrous plant matter that its simple teeth could not. This process would have taken a very long time, requiring the food to sit and ferment, releasing all its locked-away nutrients. It's a strategy seen in many modern herbivores, but scaled up to an incredible degree. This creature's life was a slow, deliberate quest for calories. Every waking moment was dedicated to consumption, to fueling the metabolic engine that maintained its immense size and powered its incredible armor. Its low browsing strategy meant it wasn't competing with the towering sauropods or even the medium-sized hadrosaurs. It had carved out its own niche, a specialist in harvesting the Cretaceous undergrowth, a slow-burning furnace that turned foliage into fortress. Suddenly, the calm is broken. A tremor runs through the ground, a deep, rhythmic thudding that signals the approach of something massive. The Ankylosaurus stops eating. It plants its feet, hunkering down and tucking its legs beneath its armored flanks. Its head lowers, protected by the bony plates on its skull. But its most formidable defense is just now swinging into view. The last third of its tail is unlike anything you have ever seen. The vertebrae are fused together, forming a stiff, inflexible rod that acts as a handle. At the very end of this rod are two massive clusters of osteoderms, fused into a single, colossal knob of solid bone. It's a sledgehammer, a wrecking ball forged from the animal's own skeleton. As the unseen threat draws nearer, you see the muscles in its powerful hips tense. With a surge of power, it swings the entire structure from side to side. The movement is not fast, but it carries an unstoppable momentum. Scientists have calculated the forces involved, and the results are staggering. A well-aimed blow from this tail club could generate enough force to shatter the leg bones of the largest predators. It was a weapon capable of turning the hunter into the hunted, of inflicting a crippling, life-threatening injury with a single calculated strike. This wasn't just defense, it was mutually assured destruction. The evolutionary arms race between predator and prey is laid bare before you, and in this moment, the heavily armed herbivore looks every bit as dangerous as the carnivore it awaits. The threat recedes. The unseen predator has thought better of an attack. The Ankylosaurus relaxes, but only slightly, and resumes its quiet browsing. Its behavior suggests a solitary existence. Fossil trackways and the scarcity of bone beds containing multiple individuals hint that these animals were not social herd dwellers like many other herbivores of their time. You are likely witnessing a typical day in its life, a slow, deliberate patrol of its territory, driven by the constant need to feed. Its immense weight, estimated at up to 8 tons, meant that every movement was costly. There were no quick sprints, no agile leaps. Life was lived at a walking pace. This has fueled a long-running debate among scientists about its metabolism. Was it warm-blooded like a mammal, burning energy to maintain a constant internal temperature, or cold-blooded like a modern reptile, dependent on the sun? The truth is likely somewhere in between, a unique physiology that allowed it to power its huge body without the frantic energy demands of a mammal of similar size. This slow pace made it a tempting target for the undisputed king of this world, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Imagine the standoff, the ultimate biter versus the ultimate armor. Healed bite marks found on Ankylosaur fossils prove these encounters happen. You can almost picture the scene. The T-Rex circling, looking for an opening, a way to flip the armored tank and expose its soft underbelly, while the Ankylosaurus stays planted, tracking the predator with its head, its tail club held at the ready, a silent promise of devastating retaliation. The world around you begins to fade, the lush Cretaceous forest dissolving into the quiet halls of a museum. The living creature becomes a fossil, its story now told in stone. The first significant remains of Ankylosaurus were discovered in 1906 by the legendary fossil hunter Barnum Brown in the very Hell Creek Formation you just visited. For decades, it was depicted as a sluggish, sprawling creature, dragging its immense tail behind it like a ball and chain. But as science progressed, this image was shattered. New discoveries and a deeper understanding of biomechanics, the very physics we explored when witnessing its tail swing, lulled to the dinosaur renaissance. We now see it as a more dynamic, active animal, with a tail held aloft, ready for action. Its legacy has been cemented in our collective imagination. It is the quintessential armored dinosaur, a pop culture icon appearing in films, books, and children's toy chests worldwide. It represents the underdog, the plant eater that could stand its ground against the most terrifying villain in Prehistoric. The image of it facing down a Tyrannosaurus is one of the most powerful and enduring scenes from the lost world of the dinosaurs. And so, our journey through the deep past comes to a close, and we return to the present, carrying with us the faint echo of a world that existed millions of years before our own. The story of Ankylosaurus is more than just a collection of fossilized bones. It is a profound narrative of adaptation, survival, and the endless, intricate dance between predator and prey, written in the language of evolution. To stand in the presence of its skeleton is to appreciate the sheer, unbelievable scale of life's creativity, a reminder that our planet was once home to beings that defy modern comparison. These creatures are gone, yet they live on, not only in the rock beneath our feet, but in the boundless human curiosity that brings their magnificent, vanished world back to life, allowing us to walk beside them, if only in our mind.